in the time of our calamity. It's what they've done. I mean, you got to look at, uh, go to Obadiah. Verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. For the violence. Who's it talking about? So about verse 1. So you know, without a shadow of a doubt. I ain't got to tell you. The vision of Obadiah, the prophet Obadiah, thus said the Most High, it's the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, concerning Edom, concerning Edomites. Just what he's saying, verse 10. Remember that a perpetual hatred that shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Obadiah 10, because he only gave him 21 verses. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Thus say the Most High. Future prophecy, though. Listen. In the day that thou stood on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, we went into captivity, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, bidding for us. Even thou was as one of them, our fraternal twin brother. Say, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah. Rejoicing over the children of Judah, the head tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, in the day of their destruction. Rejoiced over us falling, going into captivity. Neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Speaking proudly, wanting us to go down. Also, thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Remember what it said? In that calamity, it was right there doing this. Yeah, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. When we fell in 70 AD, the Romans went in there and took everything that we had. So the whole world got rich. When we fell in 70 AD, the whole world got rich. That's when they got the riches. They still looking for King Solomon's mines and so forth. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway. We trying to get away from the enemy to cut off those of his that did escape. You hear that? The ones that escaped, they was there to cut us off. Make sure we went into captivity under one of these other heathen nations. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Here they are. We got some over here. We done caught some over here. Give us up. Remember, we had a perpetual hatred. Remember what Esau vowed. That's a vow. So you got to watch what you vow. So I'm going to kill my brother Jacob once we bury my father Isaac. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, as you have done, it shall be it shall be done unto thee. You hear that? As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. See that? Colossians 3:25. Galatians 6 and 7. Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there is no respect of persons. You hear that? There's no respect of person with the Most High. So people say, okay, well, Galatians 6 and 7. What they've done, they got to pay for it. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. Don't be lied. Don't let them lie to you. They don't lie. Remember, they liars. The devil is a liar. Y'all know about that saying. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. You ain't mocking the Most High. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So what they've done, that's what they're going to get. So we sin against the Most High. Look, that's why the Most High told us in and we went into captivity, slavery, and bondage over and over again. When you read the Bible, we're mostly in captivity. Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, we in captivity, y'all. Lamentations 4:22. Now before we go there, look at Lamentations 5 and 7. Okay? It say, our fathers have sinned. Our forefathers sinned. They broke the laws of the Most High, his commandments, and are not. And they're gone. They're not here, they're gone. They died. But what happened? And we, the remnant, the lineage of those of our forefathers, have borne or carried their iniquities. You hear that? We had to pay for what they did. We had to pay as the children of Israel. What's it what it say? Servants have ruled over us. Remember? The other nation supposed to be servants. But since we broke the Most High's commandments, we didn't want to follow him. He said, I'll put these servants, these heathen over you. Servants, he called them servants, shall have ruled over us. There was none that does deliver us out of their hand. Because the Most High told us in Deuteronomy 28 and 29, ain't no man gonna save you. Ain't no man gonna save you, Israelites. Y'all caught up in man. You better trust in the Most High. He the one say he gonna make the time short. Ain't no man gonna make the time short. If there wouldn't be no flesh left to be saved. It's the Most High said he's gonna do that. That's what we gotta trust in. Have faith in the Most High. It behooves anyone to hear my voice to learn as much as you can about the Most High. Believe this. And believe that. But you better believe what I'm saying. Because he's the only power. The almighty power of powers of powers that's going to fulfill everything that he said. It's coming. It's looking you right in the face. It's just some people are still in darkness. Can't see. Not realizing this time is coming. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that does deliver us out of their hand. You hear that? So now it tells you in verse 7 again, our fathers have sinned. That's our forefathers have sinned and are not. They are here. And we have borne their iniquities. We suffered behind what our forefathers did. So when we go to Isaiah 14:21, seems like there's a problem with the Most High fulfilling what we didn't hear him say. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. There's no respect to persons. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. So when you go to Isaiah 14 and 21, it said, prepare slaughter. Prepare slaughter for his children. Why? For the iniquity of their fathers. Just what we just read about us, the children of Israel. The Most High's chosen people. So now, what you think? He's not going to deal with everybody else the same way? Look, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, for the wickedness of their fathers, forefathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Because the Most High is going to bring forth his judgment upon the people that have had us in captivity, slavery, and bondage. So that's just fair. That happened to us, it's going to happen to you, or them. And for all you ones that want to say, oh, that's wrong, and you want to go against what the word of the Most High say, you Israelites, he got something for you too. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners, because the Most High gave the commandments to the Israelites, of my people, his people are the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, shall die by the sword. See, I'm going to kill you, the Most High saying, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. You think it ain't coming? His word is not true? Better understand. So I'm going to put you to death. That's what he's saying. I'm going to put you to death. All the sinners of my people, sin is a transgression of the Most High's laws, his rules and regulations. You know? So don't get him twisted. He going to let you know. So now, going back to Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, the Edomites have, against us, the children of Israel, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. We just read about that. In the time that their iniquity had an end. So we read about that in Revelations 12 and 12, or Revelations 12 and 17. Therefore, as I live, and the Most High live forever, said the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood. Blood. And blood shall pursue thee. Blood gonna pursue you. Edomites. Since thou hast not hated blood, since you ain't hated blood, I mean, look how you got all the lands. You killed the indigenous people of Europe, ran them into the islands. Japhetic people ran them into the islands and so forth. You came over here, you killed us. Aboriginal people of the land, you killed us. Killed the other people that came after us. Put them on concentration camps and so forth to get the land. I mean, you killed all the Puerto Ricans all the way down to about 500 or 600 men. Their name is Aparayim. I am fruitful. I mean, it's a lot to pay. That's why he's saying, hey, therefore as I live, said the Most High Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Understand this. Since you ain't, that's why Zechariah 11 and 5. Zechariah 11 and 5. Whose oppressors, who possessors, Salakia, and they are their oppressors too, but whose possessors slay them, kill us. And what? And hold themselves not guilty. Not guilty. I mean, look how many times we're seeing it in our time. Our people are being gunned down. And the verdict is not guilty. Just the 12-year-old that was had a toy gun, came out of a little cage in the park. He was killed within 5 seconds. Cop jumped out the car and killed him out within 5 seconds. They just determined that no charges for that death. I mean, the Bible is true. Whose possessors slay them. Slay them. And hold themselves not guilty. The verdict is not guilty over and over again. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Yeah. If you sold us for all those years, hundreds of years, we worked for free, yeah, you would be rich. You ain't got to pay nobody, you had to pay us. And we were very, very skilled people now. Don't get it twisted. Let me show you. You didn't just come over to get no Africans swinging around no trees butt naked. This is a book called Babylon and Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. I'm going to jump up to page 90 and just give you a little understanding of who it is that they came to get. The skills we have and had until this day. We're going to look at the second paragraph on page 90 from the book, like I said, from Babylon to Timbuktu. by Rudolph R. Windsor. It says the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. Because we're not African. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not observant to the autochthonous population. I mean, we wasn't observant to the Hamite or the so-called African population. In fact, the Jews observed some of the native tribes. Hear that? We observed some of them among us. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leatherworkers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc., etc. You see that? So, don't get it twisted. We're very industrious people. Not only that, let's go with some of the inventions. Inventors and inventions. Air conditioning unit. Auto fishing device. Auto gear shift. Blood plasma bag. Bicycle frame. Baby buggy. Cable TV blocking device. Cellular phone. Chamber commode. Clothes dryer. Doorknob. Egg beater. Elevator. Electric lamp / bulb. Eye protector. Female cycle indicator. Female cycle predictor. Fire extinguisher. Gas mask. Gold tee. Guitar. Hairbrush. Insect destroyed gun. Ironing board. Lawnmower. Just to name a few. Lawn sprinkler. Lock. Lantern. Lubricating cup. Mailbox. Mop. Motor. Peanut butter. Record player arm. Refrigerator. Riding saddles. Rolling pin. Shampoo headrest. Spark plug. Straightening comb. Street sweeper. Stove. Telephone transmitter. Thermostat control. Traffic light. Tricycle. TV remote control. Typewriter. That's just a few. Oh, it's a lot more. So without those inventions and the skills that we had, this place would be primitive. Primitive. Without our inventions and so forth. So now, going to lamentation. Like he said, he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. We did wrong, so we did receive for the wrong we done and being thrown in captivity after captivity after captivity as the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, Lamentation 4:22. I hope that inspires some of you to know that we're very industrious people. Very, very intelligent. Lamentations 4:22. Given the opportunity. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. The punishment of our iniquity, us breaking the Most High's laws, is accomplished. We're in the last days, y'all. Could be the last hours. It's accomplished. Because with them trying to make the population decrease in so many billions of people. The Most High say you're going to make the time short. Listen, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So when you read that last curse in Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Most High shall send thee into Egypt, which means captivity, slavery, and bondage, again another time with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again as a nation. And there, when you go on these ships, you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, no man going to save you. Told you that in verse 29 of Deuteronomy 28th chapter. That's what that means. So he said, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. So that's the last curse that will befall us. So in our captivity now, we ain't going to captivity no more. What is he going to do? He will visit thine iniquity. He's going to visit the wickedness. O daughter of Edom. Hear that? O daughter of Edom. So letting you know what? If we ain't going to captivity no more, then and we under the, like it just said, possessors that's possessing us and got rich behind selling us for free labor, this is the last time we got to be in captivity, y'all. This is the very last time. What is he going to do now? He said, he will visit thine iniquity. He's going to visit the wickedness. O daughter of Edom, he will discover thy sins. He's going to discover how you have broken the laws of the Most High. And how you support and are contrary to the laws of the Most High. You say, don't do it, you do it. Do it, you don't do it. Contrary to the laws of the Most High. That's why he say, going to visit, you're going to discover your sins. Just as it is written. Job 20th chapter. Job 20. Let the Most High talk tonight. Job 20 and verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth? This is something of old. This is nothing new. That the triumphing of the wicked is short. And we know, Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? I showed you the first picture in the Bible of the so-called white man. The Most High is the ultimate judge. He's saying that's him. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right here. Covered the faces of Mashiach Yahushua. Till he coming to judge and make war. Oh yeah. So he's a judge. And when you understand, the Most High is giving him the power to judge. But he's going to judge according to the power of the Most High. He's going to make the judgment for the Most High. Making his own judgment, he's making the judgment for the Most High. Most High say do this, that's what he's going to do. So going back to Job 20th chapter, verse 4, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short. Triumphing of the wicked is short. And the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. See, though it's excellently mount up to the heavens, though we have all this space stations in the sky, satellites and jets flying everywhere in the sky, and his head reached up to the clouds, yet he shall perish forever. Like his own dung, like his own doo-doo, Most High said. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where'd he go? Where'd he at? Say, where'd he go? Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined. His days are determined. The Most High know. But see, if you don't know the Most High, and you don't know what he has said, how do you know him? He said, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. The number of his months are with the Most High. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Hear that? He appointed his bounds that he could not pass. It's going to be this day, this hour, that he's going to bring forth his judgment. Like he brought upon us and everybody else. Understand this, overstand this. So, when you see and recognize this fulfillment happening, because he got to get us out of here. But I never seen a rapture, the word rapture in the Bible. But they talk about a rapture, but I never seen that in the Bible. And he just said he's not going to, he's going to get those that keep the commandments of the Most High. Most of these churches teach you ain't under the commandments. You ain't under the Most High's laws. I don't care what name of church or religion that's keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and the sacrificial laws was given to them. Name them. That they going over the laws and they teaching the people to keep the laws of the Most High. They ready for they celebrating the new moon feast and the next holy day that's coming up, or the day that we determine we're gonna honor for the victory of our enemies. You should know all of this. You go to church, you should know this. It's in the Bible. You believe in the Mashiach Abishai. He observed it. We just went through the Feast of Dedication. He observed it. Should know these things. People are going to church all their life and don't even realize that they're celebrating pagan holidays. They went to cemetery schools, and as they come out of cemetery school, they become the pastors of the funeral homes. I mean, the churches. They might as well be funeral homes anyway. Because they bury the dead in there. They come the next day, they having their services, that evening, whatever. Go around dead body, you defile for a week. All the things that's contrary to the laws of the Most High they're doing. And will come up with an excuse to justify themselves when it's thus say the Most High. He said, I'm going to kill you. I say, matter of fact, he said, I'm going to melt you. Oh, but you don't hear him. But you go hear him. You're going to understand this. You're going to understand this. You ain't have no choice. Because Most High got his days that he could not surpass those days that he said he gonna give them. Now, this has to happen. This has to happen. Go to Revelation, the 18th chapter. Let's look at this angel speaking. Verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven having great power. Angel having great power. And the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, what? Babylon the Great is fallen. America is fallen. It's fallen as it has become the habitation of devils, deceitful, evil people, and the hold of every foul spirit. Every foul spirit is right here. And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Unclean, selling us unclean chicken and turkey and everything you can think of. Birds, unclean birds. And hateful bird. You see what I'm saying? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All nations have drunk of, been influenced. That wine means you've been influenced, like you call it spirits. Meaning you influenced. All nations have been influenced by the wrath of her fornication. Going against the Most High's word, his laws, such commandments. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. All the nations are down with the abomination of the idolatry of America. Dang, the Japanese took off their kimonos, now they got three-piece suits. They wearing whatever it is that America says you're supposed to wear. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy, right? So now, when you understand, Most High said, it's verse 6, reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. So not just singular, they did this, they gonna get this. No, Most High said, give them double. Whatever they done, they gonna get double. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. You hear that? How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. This future prophecy. He says, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath said in her heart, I sit a queen. I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. What's going to come in one day? Death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong, not weak, but strong is the Most High power who judges her. That's from the Most High. So he told us in verse 6, he said, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, right? Oh, that's not right. Oh, that ain't right. Let's see what the Most High did to his chosen people of Israel. What we received, brothers, Isaiah the 40th chapter. Most High is fair. And it's just the word of the Most High. Isaiah 40:1. It said, comfort ye, my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, said the Most High. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. See, our warfare is accomplished. You know why I say warfare? Because the majority of the people that he called, somewhere or another, come from the world. He said our warfare is accomplished, right? So look at James 4:4. Hold that. Go to James 4:4. It says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, talking to us. Because we have went against the Most High power. Why they call us adulterers and adulteresses, men and women. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Friendship of this world, enmity means you at war with the Most High. You want to be a friend of this world? That means you at war with the Most High. And the Most High long suffering, but he gonna get your butt. He gonna get you. Believe me. He gonna get you. The friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High. That means you at war with the Most High. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. That's why he telling us our warfare is over. When our calamity had an end, that means our warfare is over. Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel. He's saying, hey, our warfare is over. Comfort you. The only way you're going to be comforted to know that our warfare is over. Period. Going back to Isaiah 40th chapter. He said, comfort. Don't that sound great? Comfort ye. Comfort ye, my people. Who's the Most High's people? Exodus 3:10. Since we're in the Old Testament, Exodus 3:10. He said, my people. Exodus 3:10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, talking to Moses, that thou mayest bring forth my people. Who's the Most High's people? The children of Israel out of Egypt, right? So, now that we know that the 12 tribes of Israel are the Most High's people, when it says my people, it's the 12 tribes of Israel, say, comfort ye, my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, saith your power. He ain't nobody else's power but the 12 tribes of Israel. Prove that he's somebody else's power. That's a question. If thou can. He said, your power. Say, speak ye confidently to Jerusalem, who represents the 12 tribes of Israel, because we come from that land, and cry unto her. Cry unto the 12 tribes of Israel. Tell them what, Most High? That her warfare is accomplished. Hear that? No more fighting against the Most High. Our warfare is accomplished. This is what he said. That her iniquity is pardoned. Hear that? Our iniquity is pardoned. That's why I said we ain't going to captivity no more. He said our iniquity is pardoned. Our wickedness, things that we have done, is pardoned. Listen. For she is the 12 tribes of Israel. The Most High's chosen people have received of the Most High's hand double. Hear this? Double. 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 For all her sins. So now, the Most High said Esau got to receive double for all their sins. Because when you look at 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Well, let's go to 7 because we read about Esau and Jacob. Let's show you that it's in the Apocrypha also. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Meaning the world that we in now, the world that's to come. Or when shall be the end of the first, this world that we living in now, and the beginning of it that followeth. Right? It said, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born. We read about Jacob and Esau being born in Genesis 25th chapter, the 25th verse and the 26th verse. Of him, Jacob and Esau, born of our forefather Isaac, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, because they were fighting in the womb. For Esau is the end of the world. So you know Edomites would have to be ruling at the end of the world. So Esau is the end of the world. And you gonna tell me that the Aboriginal Caucasians not ruling the world today? So he said Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. We got next. Forever and ever and ever. He's saying Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Jacob represents the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So when you look at this, go to 2nd Ezra, because it's not going down without a fight now. They're gonna fight. That's why they got their space station up in the sky, and they have the power of Satan that they're working with. They have a great galactical battle. So let's go to 2nd Ezra 13, one of my favorites. It's Mashiach Shai and his chariots, 200 million angels, it says in Revelation 9 and 16, coming to deliver the children of Israel. 2nd Ezra 13. It said, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof. So it's a wind in the sea. It's moving all the ways. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So how many thousands of heaven? Revelations 9:16. Let's see. Thousands of heaven. How many thousands of heaven? And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. 200 million angels. And I heard the number of them, right? So we waxing strong with the angels. The thousands of heaven, 200 million angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Everything trembled that was seen under him, because go to Isaiah 47 and 3. He told you this. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. And the shame, the things that they're dealing with, nakedness means you ain't clothed no more. We can see exactly through you. All the shameful things that you're doing that's contrary to the Most High's word. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. Hear what he said? I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So he ain't coming as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Most High power and the Most High power of hosts, armies, is his name. The Holy One of Israel. Okay? Going back to 2nd Ezra 13. He coming with 200 million angels. And he ain't coming as a man. He coming in his super duper angelic power. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Hear that? All they burned that heard his voice. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. Now that's why you look at, when we looked up Edom in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgments. See, it's the only neighbor of the Israelites that's not giving any promise of mercy. So let's look at Isaiah 34. They give scriptures. Isaiah 34 and 5. Let's see what it says. Scripture they give. It say, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. His sword gonna be bathed right here on the earth. Like they sung that song, I'm in heaven. Yeah. Heaven is partial authority on this earth. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea means Edom, Rome. You know the Romans. We already went through Edom. So Idumea shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. That's why they saying they're the only neighbor of the Israelites that's not giving any promise of mercy from the Most High. The sword of the Most High is filled with blood. And they get these scriptures. The sword of the Most High is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra. Basra was the capital city of Edom. Capital city right now is New York City. In a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, where Edom, Rome is. That's what he's saying. Going back to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. So he coming back with fire to purify this earth. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the four corners of the heaven or of earth. Four corners of the earth. Meaning all these nations gonna get their army, the navy, the marines, the air forces together to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Subdue Mashiach Yahushua. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So he graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. This represents the Israelites. The kingdom of the Israelites. 1/3, mind you, to deliver us. Remember, you're going to make the time short? This is deliverance. But I would have seen the region or the mountain or place where the hill was graven, and I could not because it wasn't a mountain. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. They're going to be afraid. Remember, he ain't coming as a man. And out of his mouth, you hear what it said. It says, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, he's going to be talking to him as he killing them, burning them up. Listen, all they burn that heard his voice. Hear that? Just hearing his voice, they're going to be burned up. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. He already told you that. Now let's continue.